Ooh. Ooh. Everything is spoopy. Well, one thing is spoopy. Cats, not very spoopy. Nail desk, kind of spoopy. Kind of cozy. Kind of a cozy spoopy vibe. You know, my little skeleton buddy, he's just vibing. Just chilling in some leaves, having a good old time. And I think this one might be a pole dancer, but unclear. He might just be hanging out too. Hello. Hello, welcome. Welcome to my humble stream abode. Welcome to my cats. At least two of them. I see Marie and Sylvia and JJ so far. Welcome. We're gonna hang out for a minute and look at my kitties, and hopefully we'll have a couple more people come in. But I'm gonna be doing some polling because I have a few ideas for what I want to do for nails. But I'm gonna let y'all sort of do some decision making. My skeleton needs some creepy crawlers. Here's the problem. All of the appropriately sized creepy crawly things that I have handy here are real. And I feel like that might be pushing it a little too far for some people. I know that at least some of the people that follow me are a little arachnophobic, so I won't do that to y'all. But yeah, maybe I need to get some of the itty bitty little guys from downstairs. I think we have like cute little like rubber spiders and shit in the Halloween bins, and also scattered generally throughout the house. Actually, I might even have just like a tube o plastic bugs somewhere around here, but I don't know where the heck it is. So could be downstairs, could be here. Who knows? But yeah, most of the stuff that I have like that's actually handy is that's not in frames and not actually alive is exoskeletons of arachnids, and they're pretty creepy looking if you're not used to it. So don't want to jump scare anyone with that. We have Budgie rearranging, Budgie optimizing for comfort. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's decided to twin with her sister. I love it when they do that. I did not refill my water bottle before stream, so it's going to be a thirsty stream, y'all. I do need to figure out some, like, something for this guy. My little... He's just kind of hanging out on there right now, but I feel like he needs something. Both of these little skeletons usually just live on my nail storage, the shelving unit I have in the corner. It's like open shelves. Normally they just hang out there, but I figured I'd bring them down for stream to visit. And I'm feeling like this guy probably is just gonna live on my light stand for the next month or so. Yeah. So he might need some kind of, I don't know, costume, something. I feel like I can probably make him something. I should go get some water. I do have a little bit of water. I just didn't fill it. So like, I'll survive. And The only reason that it's at a low level right now is because I've been drinking out of it. So, you know, it's not like I'm going to die of dehydration here. So, so here's what I did. Let's see if this will let me show. Where's the... Is it in the Nails app? I think I have... Do you want to show... Let me show the window capture. Which window do I want? I want... Someday I'm going to be good at this. And today is not that day. Here we go. Yes, please show that thing. And then we'll actually make it visible. Okay. So I had some ideas for some things that I want to potentially do. And I basically went on Instagram and found some inspo photos. So this one is from, I don't know if any of y'all follow Jiali. The name is down there at the bottom. So she's a nail artist who does really cute stuff. I think she mostly works in like acrylics, or what I mean is not acrylic nails, but acrylic paints. So she like paints in regular paint rather than using nail polish. So she can do some really incredible stuff. And I think it's a little easier probably to work with acrylic paint because you can easily wash it off and it doesn't like get thick and gloopy. And then so that's idea number one, is to do like little cute sort of French tip ghosties. And then I had a couple of spider ones that I looked up. So this is from Feisty Fingers, kind of a cute negative space peekaboo kind of thing. And then this one, I don't know. This is just one that came up in search. I feel like it was probably not actually made by these people. A lot of these salons like to steal designs, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know in this case, but I don't know who the actual artist is in this case. But it's a cute design. And then this Aquarius nails, which I think she said she based it on a concept from Non-Nail Artist, who's another Instagram nail artist, Sanam. So she has real short nails and she does very cute little blobby designs. And then Aquarius Nails went and basically kind of adapted one of those to a longer nail sort of design, did a little redesign of it. And then there's like this pumpkin-y, and this is actually from a video, it's screenshotted from a video, but the idea being basically it's bead style magnetic that then you paint the little faces over. And then there's just another spider web idea where maybe I could make it magnetic. So I think the first thing to do is to narrow down the choices. I'm seeing ghosties. I'm seeing feisty nails pointed out, kitties. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a poll, but I can only, I think, do 4 options on the poll, I'm pretty sure. And I think, do I have 4 designs, basically? Yes. Okay, so there's going to be spiders. I'm going to set up a poll here. It'll be spiders, pumpkins, cats, or ghosts. And then we'll narrow down from there once we sort of know the basic design. So I think, yeah, I agree they're all really good options. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, though. So, spiders, ghosts, pumpkins, or cats. And you can go ahead and vote. Yeah, the velvet pumpkins are real cute. And like whatever ones I don't do tonight, there's a very good chance I'm going to do something if not one of these, then the something similar at some point during the month, because I really love doing Halloween nail art. So the chances that I'm going to do more of these designs is extremely high. So I will go through some of these designs again. And like, I mean, obviously anything I do is going to be a little different from any of these. So, looks like ghosts are slightly winning. And, man, I could really mess with the results here, because there's not that many of us here right now. So it's the advantage of doing the poll super early when there's not very many people here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it ghosties then. And I'll end the poll there. Technically, you would love to see velvet spiders. Yeah, I would love to do... See, all of these designs are things that I would love to do at some point. So, the chances that I'm not going to do velvet spiders at some point are basically nil. So, we're going to do ghosties. So the next question is, do I want to do, and I'm going to poll this again, do we want to do, for ghosties, do we want to do like a nude background? Do we want to, whoops, this is a Q&A, this is not a poll. Start a poll, please. There we go. Do we want to do a nude? Do we want to do a black? Hello, not caps lock, please. Do we want to do a Skittle, a colorful Skittle? So by colorful Skittle, what I mean by that is like choosing sort of like the brighter versions, the like kid Halloween colors, right? So like a slime green and a bright orange and a purple and, whatever. So for the base of the nail art, the ghosts, of course, will be white, regardless of what we do. But what do we want for the base? Yeah, I'm allowed to vote. But if I'd voted something other than ghosts, it would have really messed things up, JJ. I would have tied it if I'd done anything else. You're planning on doing some magnetic art this weekend? Yeah. We can also do these ghosts a little bit magnetic. We can either do the base magnetic, regardless of what choice we make here. We can either do the base magnetic or we can do the ghosts themselves magnetic. Both of those are options. A neon Skittle would be kind of cute with this. And I think I do have sort of spoopy neon colors for all of these, or just, we could also just do like bright. Looks like Skittle has a pretty solid lead there. So let's go ahead and do Skittle then. You're getting the Cadillac or Halloween collection tomorrow. Apparently Plus Life is sending me their new cutie little Halloween collection that they're just coming out with. And it looks really cute. It's like some crullies with glitters, and then there's like a topper that's mixed color reflective that I think has like purple and green and orange reflective glitters in it. But yeah, it looks like a really cute little collection. So apparently they are sending me that to play with, which probably means there's going to be a one of the streams this month is probably going to be doing some cute nail art with those guys. But they're more like pastel crullies. Here, let me see if I can find the page just in case any of you haven't seen them. Let me see. Plus Life. And where is, okay, it's this. Yeah, there we go. So it's this collection. So that's the, you can see the cute little, they're sort of like pastel shimmer crullies. And then with those cute glitters. And then this is the topper. Anyway, so that's going to be coming out. So I'll do I'll probably do a stream of those. Magnetic ghosts. Yeah, I think magnetic ghosts would be fun. Do we want the background magnetic or do we want the ghosts themselves magnetic though? Probably the ghosts themselves, right? Do like a creme background and then the ghosts I can do white but also use so I have like a hollow magnetic, clear base magnetic hollow topper that I think would work really well over like a white base for that. I won't do like a solid white though. I'll do like a white with white crelly kind of thing. Okay, so let's pick colors. Oh, did you guys see my other skeleton over here? Hang on. This is my other skeleton buddy that I have joining me for stream. His eyes are too bright though. Like, I don't know why they're like this. I want to like do something, maybe put some like red filter over them or something, because they're way too bright. Yeah, Pastelloween I think is super cute. I agree with you. So I think those will be a lot of fun. I'm gonna let you gaze at kitties while I grab some colors for this. I have white out already, and then I'll want a white crowley. And those or this. I don't know. Orange for sure. We definitely need. I'm gonna get like several options and let y'all choose which you want. All right, this guy's gonna have to go. Not done. Yellow. Okay. Okay, these Orleys, I'm sorry, they're evil. We do not support. But they are among the neons that I own. So I am pulling them out for this. So, yeah, the other Skelly is Terminator for sure. Pastel pink Halloween stuff is adorable. Hey, Kat, welcome. Okay, so nails up so we can make some color choices. Let me get my dude out of the way here, and his pumpkin and his leaves. So somebody said neon. I only have one purple neon. I do have other purples though. So if we want purple that's not neon, we do have other options for purples that are not neon. But I only have the one purple neon. And then for oranges, I've got... These three are actually neon, and this one is not. And then for sort of greeny colors, I've got these guys. This one sort of spans the yellow-green. This one's definitely yellow. This is an actual neon that's pretending not to be. And then I pulled a pink as well. So the purple and blue for sure. The neons, you mean, right? So like these two for sure. I like those two. I think we could go... I don't know. What do we think? Is the lighter orange better? The camera is not quite picking up the colors correctly. I will say, which is, you know, typical for neons. They're all a little darker and more neon. Both darker and brighter. They look more pastel on the screen. Ghislaine, hello, welcome. The pink, yeah, I agree. The lighter orange. Oh, this one. So this one is actually not that light in real life. I wish I could show you what it actually looks like. Because it's like, in terms of like naked eye, it looks more orange than gourd. And like it's really intense. It's a really intense orange. It looks almost pastel on the screen, but it's a really intense orange. I had 3 greens, or 2 greens and a yellow green. I kind of dig this green if we're going with like this kind of a thing. That's kind of a cute Skittle. Maybe not in that order. Ghislaine, we are deciding on... so we did a poll to decide on the design that I want to do, and we ended up deciding on a ghosty French tip, which... Let me find... Ah, there we are. Okay, so something sort of roughly based on this idea, but I did another poll and people decided they wanted the base to be a Skittle base rather than a nude base. So we're going to do cute, bright neon colors for the base and little ghosties, little ghosty French tips. So this is a little bit more like cute Lisa Frankish. And then if we go more like yellowy green, I feel like that ends up being, in my mind, that's a little bit more Halloween-y. Like especially these three. These three are very Halloween-y. These two take it a slightly different direction, but it can still work. These colors look good to your eyeballs. Yeah, no, I like that better. I like this. I think this is a pretty good Skittle. I think I prefer this green in here because it's a little more Halloween-y to me. Almost like Pac-Man ghosts, yeah. Yeah, they kind of are. Okay. And then for the ghosties themselves, oh, I'm going to need black as well. Let me give you cats back while I put away the colors we're not going to be using and grab my black creme. I want to have space on my nail desk and not have it taken up by polish. Okay. And I think we also probably need to make the base matte and the ghosts glossy. That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, we can also change our minds later if we want to. In terms of order, I think I'm reasonably happy with this order. Actually, maybe that... that. So I'll do the thumb in the blue and then index, middle, ring, pinky. Yeah, we have both of them. Hey, Menma. Welcome. It must be like the middle of the night. Listen, I very frequently end up with my bottles sitting around for long periods of time. However, I do also I screw up more if I have more bottles on my desk than are strictly necessary. And you know, streaming is already complicated enough. It is not normally a thing that I will do. When I'm not streaming, I will literally have like 40 bottles on my desk if I'm doing some sort of complicated nail art and I haven't, you know, I don't bother putting things away before I start usually. But I just feel like when I am streaming, I'm constantly like knocking things over because my brain is just well past capacity with just the act of streaming. Where is this hair coming from? What is this? Fucking cat fur, I swear to God. Yeah, like, did you... Wait. It's 8:30 here, so you're what, like 6 hours ahead? 7 hours ahead? It's stupid o'clock. You're supposed to be asleep, Menma. This is one of the Color Club... you know when they were doing those like $1 bottle sales? I picked up just like the, you know, one of the big, oh my God. And they're not good, but they're not the worst for $1. think I got like a thing of 30 or something for $1 each. Does that dam need thinner? Yeah, probably. Probably all of these need thinner. Am I gonna put thinner in them? I don't know. It depends on how much of a pain in the ass they turn out to be. I might. They're also just like a little chalky. A lot of these. Like a lot of neons are. They just have a tendency to be a little on the chalky side. Not always, but it's pretty common. They're not bad is a good selling point. I mean, for $1 a bottle, yeah. Like if I said that about something that was like $15 or $18 a bottle, then, you know, that would be sort of pathetic, but if it's dirt frickin' cheap, not bad is not bad. Yeah, it's a good purple. I really am so sad that Dimension Nails went out of business because they did some good stuff. Well, I guess, I don't know if went out of business is really the right. She closed Dimension Nails at any rate. She went on to do something else, or she talked about going on to do something else, but it wasn't clear if it was something else in the nail space or not. So I don't know what she's doing. She sure did make some good polish. What the hell's going on with this? Got a little weird thing there. There might have been some lint or something on my nail. All right. Cheap and not bad is not good enough. I mean, you know, it depends. Depends on the person. For most things, I don't bother with cheap and not bad. Honestly, it was one of those, like, at that point in time, I had very few cremes, and basically no nudes, almost no neons. And what I was seeing people getting with those Color Club sets was mostly stuff that was gaps for me. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll try it out this once. And, you know, they've been fine. They've been fine. I use them. I think I've gotten enough use out of the ones that I have used to make it worth the $30 or whatever I spent on them. $20. I can't remember. For almost everything else, I've been like, nah, you know what? I'm not spending like, you know, $3 or $4 a bottle for something that is just okay. I'm sure as shit not going to the drugstore and spending fucking $10+ for something that is just okay, because yikes. Why are drugstore polishes so expensive these days? That was part of why I didn't mind paying, you know, the premium for the Holo Taco cremes when they first came out. Because in Canada, I couldn't find a lot of the, like, actually cheap, functional dollar store cremes and such. I heard about them, but I was never able to find them in Toronto. Yeah, Dimension Nails did some really, really fantastic stuff. Totally agree, JJ. I feel like it's hard to go wrong with just like a neon Skittle. Like you kind of can't screw that up. If they're all neons, they're all gonna work pretty well together, in my opinion. So I think what I'm gonna do is top coat before I start putting the ghosties on. And then if we decide to do the ghosties or the background matte later on, then I will do that at the end when we do our top coat. I'll just triple top coat basically. I'm not entirely happy with this yellow one. These the Color Club neons they can be a little patchy. We'll just smooth that out a tiny bit on the edge there. That's better. Have I seen the price of Sally Hansen recently in Shoppers Summer? $18. Yeah, see, that's insane. Like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I would not be caught dead spending that kind of money on a mainstream polish. Not a chance. That's wild that they're asking for that. And I don't know, like, if they decided to start charging that because, like, people don't know better and they're just willing to spend that kind of money on them, or if it really has gotten that expensive to make stuff, and in which case the indie brands are like massively underpricing their polishes. I rather suspect that it's the former and not the latter, but or maybe it's a bit of both, you know. I do suspect that some of the indies are not charging as much as they really should, but not all of them. I worry when I see people selling stuff for $8 a bottle. I'm like, are you okay? Like, can you feed your family on what you're selling these for? Because it kind of seems like that would be difficult. I don't know. All right, so what should I get or make for my skeleton? What kind of a costume, this little guy, what kind of a costume should he or she or it have for Halloween? Help me out. What am I going to dress them up as? Ideally something I can make. Although I do... I was able to find them some, because I have 4 of these little skeletons. I was able to find them some little Christmas outfits last year that are just like little hats and scarves. And I set them up with a little tiny Christmas tree and little tiny presents. So there's probably something like that I can get for them for Halloween, but I feel like it would be fun to make something. Frog, cat, dog. Frog costume could be kind of cute. Magician. Oh. That's an interesting idea. A little cape, little top hat with a fancy ribbon on it. Get him a little wand. Maybe a bunny. I could probably make a bunny out of Sculpey or something. I have a bunch of Sculpey or Fimo or whatever brand it is that I have of the polymer clay. Could be fun to make an oversized hat that could fit a tiny little bunny in it. and also fit on his head. A snail, a bikini, a fairy. I like the snail idea. That's a cute idea. A fairy skull. Who did fairy skeleton art? Why is that a thing that's in my head? There's some like famous fairy skeleton art or semi-famous fairy skeleton art. You like the Skelly ring? Thanks. I need more rings. I kind of feel like it's difficult because I don't really have a ring budget. And all of the coolest rings are really expensive, and I definitely can't afford the coolest rings that I really, really want. So I'm stuck with kind of like rings that are close enough to what I want, and I just don't buy as many of them as I would like. But I do really like this little skull one, and I really like the skeleton grabby hand one. And I got a ring of power. I got a ring of power. It actually just arrived in the mail. It's like the the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, but instead of being gold, it's silver and glow in the dark, which is a little bit ridiculous, but I'm excited to play with it. I could dress him up like a pumpkin. That would be cute. Hello, Bunket. Welcome. Yeah. That could totally be an option. Or I could dress him up like the Headless Horseman and put a pumpkin head on over his head. That could be fun. I wonder if his head actually comes off. Probably not without breaking him. But I could just replace it with put a pumpkin sort of hat over top. I have to show you the glowing ring. I don't know if it'll be possible because the light here is so bright. With my big light on. But that is the ring. Are you gonna focus or hello? Hello? Thank you. So that is my new ring of power. And so the part that looks like it would be the glow in the dark part is the glow in the dark part. Surprise, surprise. It's really good. And I think, if I recall correctly, I think it glows blue. Yeah, so you can kind of see it reacting to the UV at least. But yeah, it's going to be too bright in here for it to properly glow. Yeah, it won't properly glow right now. It's too dark or too bright in here for you to see it properly. But anyway, it's real cute, and hopefully Brittany will make more Lord of the Rings polishes soon so that I have an excuse to wear it. You really liked the trend of little babies inside pumpkins, like for photography. That would be cute. Who's that photographer that does all got real famous for baby photos that are like that? Just like the most ultra cute baby photos in little costumes and shit. Can't remember who that photographer was. Okay, so I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with my plant-based milk jellies from Dimension Nails, and do the ghostly part of the ghost, the translucent part of the ghost, and then add probably the hollow topper, and then do the white and black details last. I think that's how I want to do it. Or maybe I want to do the hollow before the black, but after the white details. Might need to think about that. All right. Let's see. Let's just... I think the easiest way to do this is literally just to use the bottle brush for this part of it. And just kind of make a sort of a... Can you focus properly? Sort of. Make sort of an uneven shape there with the bottle brush. And then... Hang on, I don't even have all my lights on here. Ah! Sorry, that was possibly loud. Yeah, and so if we get like the translucent part with this, with the bottle brush, then we can add some opaque white for details. And it'll look, I think, a little more ghostly this way than if we just went straight in with opaque white. That's my hope anyway. I don't feel like I did a good job with this one. Okay, that seems a little better. Hello, Ray. Welcome. How am I getting magnetic ghosts? I'm going to use a hollow topper. That's a clear base silver hollow topper. That's the plan. And hopefully it works well. I guess we'll find out. If it sucks, then, you know, don't do it yourself. We'll know. You were stuck in traffic. Listen. The scream was a feature. The bump was the accident. Okay? You can't show up to a Halloween stream and not expect a certain amount of screaming. Like, be realistic here. I'm not sure whether it will be better to do the hollow topper before or after the white details. But I feel like it might be better to do it before. But then again, maybe not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the white details first and then the hollow topper and see how it looks. And then if I need to, I can do more of the white details. Because I think I might want to have some like kind of semi-translucent parts where I'm like mixing the regular white creme with the white jelly. And I wouldn't want to do that over the hollow. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. We're playing this by ear. Gonna add some of this beside it and sort of mix as I go, I think. So we'll go like this. And think I'm gonna go a full outline on the tip itself. I think that'll make it look a little more refined. And yeah. Yeah. Now, do I want to do any blending out in here? That's the question. Maybe I want to do some blendies. Because this is the part that if I'm doing this, it definitely has to be before the hollow. I feel like that might work. I don't know. What do you think? Do we like the highlight where it's sort of like blended a little more? Or did we like it better as just an outline? I do think it needs to be blended a little better than this if we're doing that. Although the magnetic might also help with that. Okay, I'm not mad at this. What do we think about this? You're trusting the process? You're enjoying the highlight? Okay. I think I like it like this. I think this is kind of cute. And I'm not going to fuss too much about the details. I think we'll just let it be just a little bit imperfect. I do seem to have some sort of a little hair there, which is not great. Okay, I think I got it. And then we're going to add some little black dots, but not until after the hollow layer, which will be not for a while. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Totally gouged myself. Like, you can't take me anywhere. All right, it's okay. I think the next step in the process will adequately hide that. Successful ghost. We have official ghost success. Sassy called it, so. All right. Here we go. I may have just thinned that out a little bit too much, but it might work out for the best. We shall see. All right, now I feel like this one is kind of like a little different shape there. This guy might be moving in the breeze a little bit. Seems to have kind of a sideways sort of drift to him. All right. We'll do this part. And then I need a little bit more of the jelly because I need to blend this a little more. I like to do this like blending the the crullies with the crumbs. Or the jellies with the crumbs. Because technically they're a milky jelly. I've done this before for other stuff. And it always works pretty nicely. As long as they're like close enough to the same color. I feel like it gives it a better blend. Black eyes, and you saw some ghosties with little cheeks. Oh yeah, I definitely want to do the cute little blush. I think that was a very cute addition to have the little ghosties blushing. I don't know if her name is actually G or I've always assumed it's G-A, like G as the first name and then middle initial A and then last name Lee, but I have no real knowledge of that. It could be something completely different. But anyway, her stuff is always like ridiculously cute. It's always 100% of the time ridiculously cute, and she does a lot of like those kind of, you know, little blushing creatures and such. And it's always so precise and so like perfect and sweet. I do not know how she does it, but how are the cheesecakes? Oh my god, the cheesecakes were so good. I actually, hilariously, I spent all that time making all those cheesecakes. I had a teensy, like this wide at the thickest end slice of each kind of cheesecake at the actual event, and that was all the cheesecake that I've had. Now we do have some mini cheesecakes that I had left over because I had extra batter, so we do have some mini cheesecakes in the freezer. So I will be able to have some more at some point in time. But yeah, it's one of those, like, you know, you make your giant dessert for your big group of people, and then like you never end up actually getting to eat any of it. Partly because by the time you're finished making all of that, you don't really want any. It's a thing. There's just, you do so much taste testing and stuff as you go along that, like, by the time I'm finished making cheesecakes, I'm like, the last thing I want is to eat a bunch of cheesecake. So they were delicious. They were very well received. There was almost none left over, even though there were 8 cheesecakes at the event, 4 by me and 4 by somebody else. And there was a tiny little, well, one of them was completely gone, like halfway through the event. And the other 3, I think, each had like a little wedge each. And Brian took some of that home for himself. And the rest, I think, got left for other people to take home. So, but yeah, they were delicious. The peanut butter cup one was the one that did not last for any time at all. That one was gone instantly. So definitely gonna have to make more of the peanut butter. It was like basically the cheesecake itself was peanut butter, and then I had a chocolate ganache on top, and Oreo cookie crust. So it was basically like a giant peanut butter cup, and then I decorated the top with peanut butter cups. So that one went very, very quickly. The other woman that made the other 4 cheesecakes, hers were all classic with different berry toppings, except for she made a Hatch green chili cheesecake, which was absolutely outstanding. could not believe it. It was so freaking tasty. Would not have expected that to be a pleasant flavor profile, but it was like just the right amount of a little bit of burn at the end. You know, when you're like, not when you first put it in your mouth, it was just like nice chili flavor when you first put it in your mouth without the heat. And then as you're swallowing it, you start to get a little bit of the heat build up. And holy heck, that was freaking delicious and so interesting. Never had a cheesecake like that. Really liked it. Tiny eyelashes. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, one of them definitely has to, at least one of them has to have tiny eyelashes for sure. I agree with you. Yeah, it was super good. Like, she put in just the right amount of chili too. So it was like, there was someone there who was basically like, you know, I can't handle any kind of heat at all. Like, I have the palate of a 2-year-old when it comes to spicy stuff. And I said, try one small bite because you'll get all the hatch chili flavor at the front, and there won't be enough to really build the heat in the back end. So you'll get just like that little bit of warmth, but then just stop after that one bite and eat something different, and it'll go away real quick. And he tried that and he really enjoyed it. So hello, Leo. Welcome. Yeah, I was also very much head explode about that flavor, and yeah, she convinced me. It was freaking good. I would never have thought to do that. But, you know, like, I obviously I'm going to try it. If somebody else makes that, I'm obviously going to try it because it's like too weird to not try. You know, worst case scenario, you hate it and then you eat something else and your mouth forgets about it, right? The trauma is over eventually. But best case scenario, you've eaten something really interesting and weird that was tasty. And that's always fun. I'm like a tremendously picky person when it comes to food, but my mom kind of trained me to be curious, at least, about the food, so that even if I think there's a really good chance I'm gonna hate it, I'm willing to give it a shot, because you never know. Every once in a while, there's something that I think I'm gonna hate, and then I try it and I go, no, you know what? Actually, that was super good. Still super picky about shit, but at least willing to sample. Yeah, I'm funny with spicy stuff. There's certain kinds of spicy that I can handle large quantities of, and I'm completely fine. Like gochujang, there's no limit to the amount of gochujang you can put in my food. It is always going to be fine. There's something about that particular type of spicy that is always completely fine. But like Tabasco, one drop will completely ruin a meal for me. I cannot cope with Tabasco at all. So there's like definitely different types of spicy. For whatever reason, my mouth is selective about the spiciness. So generally speaking, like Korean food, Thai food, a lot of Indian food, I'm completely fine with. A lot of Mexican food I can't do unless it's the mildest version. Yeah, that's it, Ray. Like it's exactly that. I am picky as hell, but I will try anything once because I feel like I owe it to myself to try the weird thing. how's Cricket? Cinnamon pouncing above him is very funny. Yeah, Cricket's doing great. He's having a grand time with Cinna. They're really enjoying each other's company, as far as I can tell. We want Velvet for these, I think. Yeah, seems like Velvet is the way to go. Yeah, they're having a grand old time. Sometimes Cinna is a little too rough with him, but it's clearly never like malicious. It's always an accident, and as soon as he expresses that it was too rough, she backs right off. So they're doing really, really well. You can't handle much spice and finally graduated to sriracha aioli. Before that, your limit was garden salsa sun chips. You know what? I do think some of it is genetic. Some of it is what you're used to. You can handle what you can handle, and there's no shame in not being able to handle super spicy stuff. It's fine. You can just go through life being good with the mild shit, and there's lots of tasty food, and it's fine. You're allowed. It's fine. And plus, it's more spicy stuff for the people that can enjoy the spicy stuff. There's a lot of stuff, too, that, like, I used to be able to handle a little spicier than I can now. And now it's like, at some point in time, my intestines started to say, no, we're not doing that anymore. My whole digestive system basically said, no. Nope. All that stuff you used to be able to do? Nope. Not anymore. I do have very good kitties. It's true. Okay, I think that doing the white under the hollow was correct. I do wonder if I also want to do a tiny little bit of white over the hollow. I don't know. It sort of depends. I think that, like, when the magnetic is cleared, like when it's at like that angle, you can see the white underneath, like the detail underneath. I think it's fine. So maybe I should just leave it as is and then just do the black. Yeah, the magnetic really gives it some depth. I'm pleased with that. Agua. Uh-oh. Reaching the bottom. Reaching the bottom of my agua. All right. Hopefully, actually, I should at least bring out a second one here. At least do 2 at a time. So I don't know if y'all saw Ray's fantastic glass bead effect magnet design, 3D printed magnet design that looks like a sex toy. Very excited about it. I think, fingers crossed, I think my stepdaughter is gonna print me one. Eventually. So I'm very excited about that. I sent her the link for it. So I might get to play with one of those soon, which I think will be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be able to do this on stream. It's not my fault you made a tool that looks like a sex toy. You're gonna get one too, Sassy? I mean, I think it's probably a relatively simple assembly, right? Is it a toolless assembly, or do you need parts, right? Is there hardware involved? I didn't actually look at the design. Yeah, the velvet ones are fantastic. So the ones that I use all the time, if there's anybody in chat who doesn't know it, these ones that I use all the time, these are Ray's design. And I this is basically how I do all my velvets, is with these guys. I really like them. So it basically combines this design with a tool to make this design spin one-handed in a way that is stable and does not put you at super high risk for dinging your nails on your other hand if they're wet, which I personally think is fantastic. It does need a single M3 bolt. Okay. That's easy enough to get. I might even have an M3 bolt. Does it need a nut for it as well, or is the thing itself threaded? Menma, go look at Ray's Instagram. Ray.diligentlyprocrastinating. Go look at her Instagram. She's got video of it. It's real cool. Totally looks like a sex toy, though. Goes straight into the plastic. Cool. That is handy. Yeah, I might just have an M3 bolt kicking around. So, and if I don't, trip to the hardware store. No big deal. All right, so we still need cute little eyes. Did her design have little mouths? Yes. Little mouth, little eyes. Whoopsie daisy. Hello. You got, oh boy, you got real big. I'm just, I'm looking at one of the little dudes super close up. It's just very cute. So yeah, I think we'll do something like that. We'll try and go for the super cute look. You saw that post earlier? Yeah, I think everyone needs one. They're really cute. It's a good design. Okay, so we have our little ghosties. Yeah, let's go with let's go straight in with the details, and then I won't have to screw around with magnetizing a top coat, because if I do the details and then seal glaze and then regular top coat, the seal glaze will keep it from making the magnetic shift. So we won't have to do another magnetic layer, which I personally like. All right. So little eyes, and I think we'll use the dotting tool for that. It's a very fancy toy. I agree. Ray's Instagram, ray.diligentlyprocrastinating. Probably easier if somebody types it into chat. I imagine that it's a lot easier to cut and paste than it is to try and type all that out without messing it up. Do I want bigger eyes than that? What do we think? Do the eyes need to be a little bigger? They probably should be a little bigger, huh? I think maybe a little bigger. Yeah. That's better. Okay. Yes, big eyes up the cute factor. That's exactly what I was thinking. And I was looking at her version, and it has pretty big eyes. Longer? Longer what? Longer eyes? They're round in the original. We do also need some little mouths, which I think I'm going to use my nano brush for. And I'm just going to make it a little... Just going to do something different for each one. There. This way they all kind of have a slightly different expression. And then, there. And then we need some blush. Are they all going to be blushing? What do we think? Do they all need blush? Some of them need eyelashes, for sure. We determined that. Just get a little thinner in here. All right. I think the 2 eyelash method is probably the way to go here. It's a little uneven. We're gonna have that problem that you have when you try and do a wing, and one side ends up a little too big, and you got to go back and forth. Can purple have lashes? Lipstick would be a challenge. Purple can definitely have lashes. All right, there we go. Purple's got some lashes. Anybody else need lashes, or the rest all non-lashed? We've got purple and blue have lashes. Mustache. Okay. I can do a mustache. Maybe on the orange one there's a little space for a mustache. Like a twirly mustache. It can't be too thick because I don't have a huge amount of space, but I could do like a little this kind of a thing. Sort of the classic. There we go. It needs to be a little thicker up here. Gotta be real careful here. I don't wanna mess up anything else by thickening up this mustache too much. It might need a little bit more of a curl to really sell it. There we go. He's a French ghost. Yeah, he's Poirot. Poirot's ghost. A monocle. I don't think I can do a monocle. Because the scale to try and get a real thin, good-looking monocle, I think, is going to be beyond my skill level. That would be very tough to do. We do need... Yeah, it'll escalate to top hat immediately. I agree. And I don't have space for a top hat. I ran out of nail. I do need to have some little highlights in the eyes. Trying to make them small, but boy, is it ever difficult. I hear a cat snuffling. Sounds like Jammy Dodgers is rearranging. Okay. Cheeks on all of them? Okay. I don't know if I want to use the neon. Do I want to use the neon pink? I guess I can. The other option would be to grab, hang on. Like a softer pink. That might be a better choice, huh? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Menma. All right, get some little pinky cheeks. Oh, well, that wasn't quite... I don't know if I can give the mustache guy pink cheeks. I don't think that's going to work on him because his mustache is in the way. I think you get cheeks or a mustache. That's the way it works in Ghostland. That pink ended up kind of overlapping the black here a little bit. I'm just gonna try and do a little tidy up here. Preferably without completely screwing everything up. All right, that looks a little better. The strawberry milk would definitely work as a shade, but I think it's even more sheer, so... Actually, I know it's even more sheer. This is kind of adorable, y'all. All right. I really like this. This is really cute. So, we're gonna need a seal glaze. I do think I want to add just a little bit of a little hint of white around the edges. Maybe not everywhere, but just to define a little tiny bit better, because some of it got covered up by the hollow. My brush spit a little bit there. There we go. So I just want to bring just a tiny little bit back in. Bring a little bit of definition back. So that even when the magnetic is dominant, you still have a little bit of the folds indicated. Almost done. Okay, last guy. And then I think it'll be time for seal glaze, and then top coat, and then do we want the background matte? Do we want the whole thing matte? We will lose the hollow, but I feel like the hollow isn't super important for this. It's more the silver magnetic that's important for this. So, question, I'm going to put this one to a poll. So do we want all gloss, all matte, or background matte, ghosts, gloss? Or heck, let's do background gloss and ghosts matte. Okay, poll. Sassy says keep the hollow at all costs. Well, you know how to vote. Matte ghosties. We're letting the democratic process win out here. All right, I'm gonna add my seal glaze. Regardless of what we choose, I have to do a seal glaze and then a glossy top coat before I do anything else, so might as well just go ahead and get that seal glaze started. So on the off chance there's anybody in here who is new to the streams and cares about this information, this is the DRK Nails seal glaze, which is basically a smudge-free top coat that you put in between your nail art and your regular top coat. It does require a regular top coat to be put on top of it. On its own, it is not protective, and it kind of has a weird sort of tacky quality. But it does a pretty darn good job of keeping your nail art from smudging when you put regular top coat on top of it. And then I always do a or almost always do a glossy top coat before I do a matte top coat. It tends to make the matte top coat behave better, tends to apply better, tends to dry better. And also, the matte top coats are generally not as protective as the glossy ones are. So do glossy first and then matte. Wrap the tips. I never wrap the tips. That's not strictly true, but I almost never wrap the tips. All right, let's see. It looks like background matte Ghosts Gloss is the winner. So I'm going to end the poll there. 33% of you are trolls. No, Menma, I don't usually bother wrapping the tips, mostly because my nail polish almost never lasts more than 24 hours because I'm usually taking it off to swatch or to do nail art or something. If I know that I want to keep a manicure on for a few days, then I will wrap the tips, sure. But as a general rule, no, I don't bother. I mean, I don't think that I really wrapped the tips per se. I might have a little bit on some of them. I sometimes will with the seal glaze, if I'm worried that I might end up picking up some of the pigment. But yeah, I mean, I don't really, it's not a thing that I try to do as a general rule. I just don't bother. All right. One of the weird things about seal glaze is that most of the time it makes the polish go a little bit cloudy underneath it for a little while until it's completely dry. And it's so weird. I can see a little bit of it. I really like this color story, y'all. This is very cute. They're very cute little ghosties. I'm glad we went with a colorful Skittle. The nude is very cute as well. And I'm sure the black would have been adorable, but the colorful Skittle is a fun way to move into spooky season when it's still kind of summery out. All right, you look pretty dry. I think we can do our regular top coat. Bum, 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 bum. Pick a top coat, any top coat. I have so many top coats out right now. For just like regular, like glossy top coats, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open at the moment. Yeah, I have 7 open at the moment. Why? I don't know, man. Beats me. I mean, part of it is because I have gotten a couple in PR that I wanted to try out. And like a couple of them are, you know, a little more than halfway through, and I'm probably just going to combine them soon. But I still feel that there's no excuse to have 7. It's too many. I also have way too many base coats out at the moment as well. Summery out? You with your hoodie and woolen socks and freezing over there? Well, I'm sorry, but it's been summery here still. We are getting like some cooler overnights now. So like last night, I think it went down to 10 degrees Celsius overnight. And I think currently it's 15 outside. So, you know, it's cooler, but it's still like Like the other day, it was, 28 or 29 Celsius in the middle of the day. So I call that summery. Bonket, you have one good quick dry top coat you're always using and one cheap one you use for swatches. Yeah, that's valid. So right now I have this one. I've been testing making a magic effect, the magnetic magic effect type thing out of, like, this is just a bunch of old top coats put together with a whole lot of thinner shoved in, and it seems to work just fine as an alternative to the DRK magic effect stuff for magnetic polishes. And then I've got this one that I usually use for when I want like a thicker, more gel-like sort of top coat for when I'm swatching. If I have like a flaky or something, I'll sometimes use this one just because it is a little more similar to like if you used a like a glitter grabber and a regular glossy top coat. It's a little more similar to what that would look like, but without having to do all of them. So, and then this one I got in PR and I've been using it, and this one I got more recently in PR and I've been using it, and this one is starting to get real old. And this one I got in PR and I've been using it a little bit. So yeah. Yeah, and I have I didn't include my glitter grabber. I have that as well. I actually have, I think, two. I have two, one from Glisten and Glow and one from Dam. And I have two matte top coats out and two smudge-free top coats out. But I wasn't counting any of those ones. I was only counting the regular top coats. Okay. Peely base, smoothing base, quick dry base. Let's see. I have 3 peely bases. One of which is a DIY. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smoothing bases. 2 quick dry bases. Yeah, that's all the base coats I have out right now. So the Monarch combines quick dry top coat and glitter grabber. It doesn't actually, but if I put 1 coat of the Monarch HD Shine top coat, and then immediately take photos, it looks the same. It gives the same effect as if I used a glitter grabber and then a regular top coat and took the photos the next day. So it's just a little plumper than a regular top coat. It's not all the way plumper. I would absolutely not make the claim that you can replace glitter grabber with that. It's just a little plumper. You have a long-lasting base that you only use on clients? Yeah, I might have a long-lasting base from Holo Taco in one of my drawers, but I have like a drawer that's just full of, like, half full of bases and top coats. It's like literally half of the drawer of the top drawer of my Alex. All right, so I'm gonna do matte top coat over the whole nail and then glossy top coat over just the ghosts. So I think that's the easiest way to deal with it. Also, Bonket, for your information, Cat Dark and Stormy Nails has basically confirmed, I believe at this point, that that the like glitter smoothing coats from the various brands are just suspension base. So, or at least are functionally not distinguishable from just being suspension base. So if you wanted to save a little money, you could probably just use suspension base if you go through enough of it. If you're a big glitter wearer, you could probably just paint a coat of suspension base over top of your polish, your glitter polish, and then do regular top coat after that dries. And suspension base is a lot cheaper to buy. You can buy fairly large quantities of it relatively cheap. I have not personally tested that, but it makes sense to me that that would be the case. All right, so we'll let this dry down, and then we'll re-glossify the ghosties after this is all dried up. Your daughter goes through Glitter Grabber so quickly. Yeah, so I would probably suggest you can get TKB they have a suspension base that they sell in a variety of different sizes. That's, I think, the one that I've been getting for when I'm experimenting with mixing. I use the TKB one. I've been happy with those. So they are very cute, Matt. I agree. But yeah, we'll bring the gloss back. We'll bring the hollow back on the ghosties. Because I do think they deserve their little bit of rainbow. They're pretty cute little guys. I like the mustache dude. All right. Here we go. Back in with our gloss for the ghosties. And since I used a smudge-free coat, I don't need to worry about remagnetizing. They should hold their velvet magnetization just fine. There we go. It's cute. Yeah, I think I think that, like, I like the sort of the softness of the matte, but I like the dimension of the gloss, and I do think the gloss is the right choice for this, for the magnetic in this case. It would have been cute either way, though, for sure. I really like both options. There were no bad choices here tonight, y'all. There were no bad choices, but also you made excellent choices. The really nice thing about letting chat decide things is if everything goes really, really well, then I end up with cute nails. And if everything goes really, really bad, then I can just say it was chat's fault. And it won't be wrong. Because how could it possibly be my fault if chat made decisions? Is anyone else getting Holo Taco this weekend? I'm not. But I'm still very much on a no-buy. I am on a hard no-buy. And since I have been since PBE, and I'm standing strong. Yeah, I'm trying to hold off until Black Friday as well. Najwa, you're skipping PPU this month? Yeah, the blue glow in the dark is very cute, and I am tempted by the blue glow in the dark, and I'm not sure that it's still going to be there for Black Friday, which would be unfortunate. But how often do I really use glow in the dark polish, right? Like, it's not, I don't use it that much. And I do have a green one, so I feel like, I won't die if I don't get it. Yeah, not having room probably helps. I mean, I don't have room either, but that doesn't stop me. But but I am like trying very hard to sort of limit myself to I feel like if I can do just like PBE and Black Friday, that's pretty reasonable. You're hoping the green one is still available for Black Friday? Yeah. You want the thermal Menma? It's really pretty. It does look really pretty. But I also feel like, you know, there's lots of red thermal polishes, right? So if now is not the time, then you don't necessarily need to buy now. You can buy from someone else later. The light red to dark red thermals are not rare. There's been tons of them. Black Friday is for getting essentials and must-haves? Yeah, I think so. Menma, oh my god. No, Boncat. Really? Someone compared it to pepperoni? That's so wrong. That is horrible. I love it. It makes me very happy. That's really good. That's like whenever I need to talk myself out of something that's like in a certain color range that's a little too close to my skin, but it looks really, really good on other swatchers. If I need to talk myself out of it, I remind myself about the BKL ham polish that I got at one time. What was that one called? 1 Million Perfect Roses or something like that. Awful. It looked exactly like ham on me. It was just like sparkly ham. Ham nails, not good. So I know to stay away from anything that's vaguely close to that, and I just remind myself of the ham nails. What's pepperoni? Oh, Menma, yeah. Pepperoni is a type of processed meat. If you're familiar with salami, it's kind of like that. It's like a deli meat that's like for sandwiches and stuff. That's like a sausage that's sort of sliced thin. There you go. Bonquet did a good explanation. An American variety of spicy salami made from cured pork and beef seasoned with paprika and chili peppers. Yeah, Ray, every Movi pink polish. Oh, you know what the food is? Well, then that's the thermal. The thermal is what they were talking about. The thermal was being compared to pepperoni. I mean, it was reasonable to think you wouldn't necessarily know what pepperoni was, to be fair. It could have been one of those weird American things. Water polo game is done. You're here. You arrived in time for me to be done with my incredibly cute spoopy nails. Hang on. Come on. Would you like to focus? There we go. We did cute spoopy nails. Chat chose everything. Chat chose the design from several designs that I gave them options for. Chat chose the colors. Chat chose which one's got eyelashes, or in one case, a mustache. It goes from cooked pepperoni to burnt pepperoni. Oh my god, someone used a photo of pepperoni to compare it? That's hilarious. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, so this was inspired by a really cute nail design by Gia Lee. Hang on. Whoop. This one. So that was what we used as our inspiration for this design. So obviously hers is cuter because she's the master of cute, but ours is magnetic, so that's exciting. We used a magnetic hollow topper as part of our ghosty process. They came out super cute. Yeah, I'm sorry you missed cute Spoopy. But you know, you're here for cat and chat, so we got that. And pepperoni talk. Who doesn't like cats and pepperoni talk? And you know what? I'll paint my other hand just like whatever. Hang on. Shut up. Thing. Just focus on one thing and relax. Let me grab a couple things and you can pick my other hand. Let's see. There we go. Polished Mess specifically gets to choose one of these for my other hand. One of these goes on my other hand. Which one is it? Only Polished Mess. None of them have names yet, Ashley. Y'all need to name my nails. They are pretty cute. They do deserve names. But if you name them, I'll forget what they're named by the time I post them. You want the one in the middle, Ashley? Show the latecomers Terminator Skelly? Okay, hang on. Here's Terminator Skelly. Hang on. There he is. He's kind of... He'd be a lot scarier if he were less limp. But he's my buddy, so... No, that's not the one we're dressing. We can dress that one, but this is the one that you can see in the... It's just a little guy attached to my little light pole there. That one needs a costume. There's actually 4 of them in the house, but I don't know if I have it in me to make costumes for 4 of them. But I could make one for the one that's gonna hang out on stream. Okay, so I'll do this one on my other hand. Get one of my untrieds out of the way. This is one that was from PBE. This is Bean Me Up from Rogue Lacquer. So inspired by the Bean in Chicago. You accidentally woke up while the family was watching Terminator when you were like 3? That would be terrifying, yeah. I can definitely see that being like a huge issue for you. I definitely saw the Poltergeist movies way too young. I don't think I was as young as that, but definitely way too young. And those had a pretty profound impact on me, so I get it. Ray, all excited about me finally wearing Bean. I just, it hasn't happened yet. It's not like I've been avoiding it. Most of the untrieds, I've been like letting either the Discord or Brian choose what I'm doing next. And when the Discord is choosing, it's usually like random number. And when Brian's choosing, he just like goes up to the rack and picks whichever one he feels like. And yeah, he just hadn't picked this one yet. And neither had y'all. I'm working through my untrieds at a pretty decent rate though, given how much I've had to do like nail art and swatching rather than focusing on that. He should be a matador with a little bolero. That's adorable. Mars Attacks. You thought Mars Attacks was an actual horror movie? That's hilarious. I mean, yeah, I could see that if you see it way too young. Yeah, I could see that being absolutely terrifying. Listen, here's the thing, Ray. Don't be too disappointed in Brian because there's a lot of really exciting spacey polishes, and he knows how much I like Prugly greens. So he's very likely to choose either something spacey for himself or something Prugly for me. So this one just wasn't spacey enough in the bottle, I guess. Swapping heads with the dog. Yeah. Sylvia, I've been watching scary movies since I was very young and I'm totally fine, normal, no issues whatsoever. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we all believe you, Sylvia, that you're completely fine. You don't have a costume idea, but you do have a similar tiny skeleton your mom ordered by accident. Your dog is terrified of it? Oh my god, Leo. That's hilarious. I got 4 of them at I don't know, I think it was like at Michael's or something a couple of years ago. Got a pack of 4 little skeletons and then ended up buying little Christmas outfits for them and then bought them a little Christmas tree and one of them has a bubble bath. So he doesn't have the actual bathtub, he just has the bubbles. They have, between the 4 of them, they share a laptop, an iPad, and a mobile phone. Just normal skeleton things. So, yeah, and 2 of them live up here on my nail rack, and the other 2 live on either side of the TV in the living room. So, but yeah, I think this guy is just gonna live up here, at least for the spooky season. I need to do a wheel of chance during one of these streams. Make it pick my polish. Here's the problem with that. I would need to have things entered into some kind of a spreadsheet or something that would allow me to easily pick from things. And that is not likely to happen unless someone comes and makes it for me and then also maintains it for me. The best I would be able to do is like number my drawers and have it pick like a drawer and then have it pick up a row number and whatnot, like a position. But even then it would be challenging because it would be different for each brand, each drawer. Yeah, they're like skeleton Barbies. That's exactly how I treat them. I was never really into Barbies as a kid. I think my sister had some Barbies. I do remember pulling limbs off of Barbies and like action figures. There was a certain amount of attempting to swap things that happened. I don't think that was largely very successful. But yeah, that's sort of the extent of my Barbie life. But I basically treat the skellies like that. And we have the big skeleton in the window, and he has all kinds of costumes now. He hasn't been put in his Halloween costume yet, though. Oh my God, there's like a hair. He's still in his back to school outfit. But I think probably this weekend will be time to pull out his Halloween outfit. Have I seen the TikTok account where the little skeleton builds mini rooms? I have not. I don't do TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I mean, I guess I have a TikTok account, but I won't have the app on my phone. So I don't think you can really see them very easily anymore. I should have him up all year long and dress him seasonally. We do that with the life-size skeleton in the downstairs window. It's in a bay window that faces out toward the main road in our neighborhood, and he's wrapped with Christmas lights that not really Christmas lights, but like, you know, LED string lights that are programmable, and so we do different costume changes for him, and also his lighting changes on the season, according to the season. So yeah, so right now he's wearing a backpack and a ball cap, and he's got a little lunchbox. And yeah, this weekend I think we'll get out the Halloween stuff. Not sure what I'm going to dress him in this year. Might be witch hat. He's got a light up witch hat that he wears. He was wearing a pride flag in the summertime. He has a Santa hat and beard and whatnot. We don't like to do like a full costume on him because his rigging can't really handle a whole lot of weight, but we'll usually do, you know, a something like a hat and one or two accessories. Yeah, that's exactly right, Ray. I would never enter the polished names into a wheel. It could be pick a number, pick a finish, and then pick a color. That would be an option. How many coats is this? This is 2 coats. I might stay there too. I don't know that it necessarily needs a third. I feel like it's pretty good at 2. Like, it's not 100% opaque. I can definitely see when the light is at the right angle. I can definitely see a little bit of visible nail line. I think you can kind of see it a little bit here. But I feel like I'm fine with it. I think it's opaque enough in 2 that I'm reasonably happy with that. You want a Skelly in a Skelly costume? Yes, that is amazing. I love that idea. You used 2 as well, Ray? Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind a hint of VNL if the polish itself is fairly light. The only time I really dislike it for myself is if the polish is highly saturated or dark. Then I really don't like to see visible nail line. But yeah, as long as it's like something that's a little more ethereal or bright, sort of has the right vibe to it, I'm good with it. You like when you can see just a little bit of nail line? It makes it feel comfy, like it's lived in. That's an interesting notion. Yeah, I think it just depends for me. It really depends on the polish. And obviously, you know, if it's patchy, that's not gonna fly. But that's a whole different issue. There we go. Yeah, I really like this. This is cute. This is a nice polish. I am happy that I own this. I probably would not have purchased it, I think. Maybe did I? No. Maybe I did purchase this one. I think that maybe I might have picked this one up. I think it might have been like was it a special price or something? Do you remember, Ray? Why did I buy that? Because it's not the kind of thing I would normally buy. Unless it was like extra cheap or something. Help me out, Ray. Why did I buy that? I'm not sad about it. It's just not one I would normally expect myself to buy. You're more okay with VNL if it's a busier polish? Yeah, that makes sense. I can definitely see that. Got a little bit of top coat in the skin there. You think it was a show special? Might have been like $5. Oh yeah, it could have been a door crasher. That would definitely, if it was like a $5 or $10 door crasher, then it's very likely that I would pick up. I'm much more likely to pick up something that I think is a little bit risky for me, if it's a little cheaper and it's, you know, special in some way. I definitely grabbed a few semi-risky door crashers. And I didn't love all of them, but, you know, that's fine, because other people probably will. May, hello, welcome. Ashley, you think sheer polishes look better on longer nails and glitter flaky crellies look better on short stubby nails? You know, I guess I can see that. I like both on both, honestly. I feel like I really enjoy different things about seeing polishes on different length nails. I will say, like with magnetics, I adore the glass bead effect on nubs. I frickin' think that is so cute. Every time I see someone who has the glass bead effect on their nails and they have like super short little nubbies, it's adorable. Like it totally sells the effect in a way that it doesn't on longer nails. But, you know, I think cat eye often works a little better on longer nails. So, you know, you've got a little bit of a trade-off there. But yeah, so I can definitely see having preferences for different length of nails for different types of formulas. I do think I really like a glitter crelly on either, or like a flaky crelly on either. Yeah, glass bead looks so cute on nubs. Yeah, it's true. It's like the more of like a perfect circle the nail is, the like if you've got cute little itty bitty little nubbins, and you get that really good glass bead effect, it just looks so cute. Definitely more noticeable on shorter nails, yeah. Yeah, I think on longer nails, we see the glass bead effect shown off on the longer nails a lot, but I do think that a lot of the time it is less distinguishable from the velvet effect on long nails, and if you see it on shorter nails, it becomes much more obvious, I think. May, you did get home just in time for me to be completely done. I'm all finished. But look, we did very cute little ghosties. Adorable little ghosty friends. We're kicking off Halloween, cute as heck. And then getting one of my untrieds out of the way. Yeah, you missed so much. Well, you are 2 hours late. It's it's not your fault, but you know. All right, we'll give you some cat porn here. Some little cute snuggly kitty. Jammy Dodger's being such a good girl. And I think that's going to be it for tonight. If anybody has any other suggestions for what to dress this fella in for Halloween that I can make easily, we got some pretty good ideas. Thanks for coming by, Marie. See ya. Yeah, no, don't drive in pouring rain if it's like dangerously rainy, which I know that happens in Florida. Sometimes you got to just wait for it to pass. And it's better to do that. Also, so I think there's a possibility that next week I might have those Plus Life Crullies. I think she sent them today. So there's a chance that I might have them for next week. I can't guarantee. So if I have those cute pastel Halloween Crellies for next week, then that is definitely what we will stream for sure. If I don't, then it's probably going to be maybe one of the other designs that we looked at tonight that we did not end up choosing. If you have other suggestions, you're always welcome to DM me, holler at me. Make him look like Candy. Oh, interesting. Fringe collar and fringe skirt and an egg middle. Huh. That's an interesting idea. But yeah, so if I have those, then that's what next week is going to be. And if I don't, then it's going to be something else that's Halloween-y. I do want to do all Halloween all the time for this month. There will be a live stream of a couple of mini collections that are coming out. But I think that's going to be the week after next, probably. Closer toward the middle to late part of the month. And that will be less directly Halloween-y, but I'm still going to kind of tie it in a little bit, I think, if I can. Because that's not actually a Halloween collection, but I think I can stretch it to make it Halloween-y-ish. That's it. I think that's all the admin shit. So for there's Budgie's butt. Yeah, so for next week, if I have those Plus Life ones, then we'll probably do some kind of like cutesy nostalgia thing. I'll likely end up doing like a Skittle with maybe some pumpkins or little bats or something. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go eat some cereal because it's fast and it tastes good. And I don't have to think about it. And I'm hungry. All right. Thanks for coming by, everybody. And, do the liking. And if you haven't already subscribed, do that. And if you have, I don't know, tell a friend. Drag other people here. Oh, also, t-shirt. I'm going to plug somebody that I kind of know. Cute little Halloween-y design I'm going to type it in chat here. It's SAMMCARTS. Sam McArts on Instagram. Cute designs. I don't know if this specific design is available at the moment, but I know that they do a variety of different designs sort of on a semi-regular basis. And they usually have something sort of cute spoopy. So anyway, you should go check them out. All right, that's it.